These are my last days in America as an American. I don't know when I can come back.
Remigration is just another racist dog whistle for they want to get rid of everybody who is not white.
Hi everyone, welcome back again to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. If this is your first time here, my name is Julie. You are welcome to Julie Harrison React. Don't make it your last by you subscribing. I came across this video and it's trending right now on TikTok. So the Department of Homeland Security posted something on their platform, Remigration Now, which has gotten a lot of people reacting. So what this means is that they want to take off all entire immigrants and of course people of color back to their country. A lot of Black Americans were seen blaming the people that voted for this administration. I'm going to take you guys through the reactions coming from people. It's quite emotional one, and please let's know what you think about this whole thing down the comment section. Before then, disclaimer, this content does not in any way promote conflict. This is really for educational purposes and of course creating awareness on the recent trends happening on social medias. Please watch these videos.
So the Department of Homeland Security decided to tweet this today, calling for remigration. And if you guys don't know what remigration is, it's essentially a right-wing talking point that calls for immigrants and people of color to go back to their countries of origin. It's picking up steam in places like the United States, Australia, Canada, which coincidentally are all countries where white people are not actually native. They call for everyone to go back home except for themselves. But if we're going to remigrate, you first. Go back to Scotland, go back to Germany, go back to Europe, and see how welcoming these people are towards you. White, but ignorant, monolingual, and uneducated. And then we can talk.
I need everyone who voted for this to come to the front. Department of Homeland Security put out a post that said re-immigration now. Now, if you don't know what re-immigration is, it's a far-right concept of ethnic cleansing. They're essentially trying to whitewash the country. That means that they want no minorities. The way that they are doing that is by removing Hispanic, Mexican immigrants. But please know that the rest of us, the blacks, any other minority, mixed race, biracial, however you identify, if you are not pure white, they're coming for you too. So what I would like is for everyone who voted for this administration to let me know in the comments whether you knew you were voting for this and this is what you stand by, or if you feel like this isn't what you voted for and you are no longer supporting this administration. And those of you that didn't vote for this, let me know in the comments how you feel about this. I am absolutely disgusted that this is the America that we live in. What happened to checks and balances? Rant over.
I have biracial children. I have a son who is half Mexican, and I have two daughters who are half Black. But even if I did not have biracial children, this would be one of the most concerning things I have ever seen come out of the U.S. government. I came across the Department of Homeland Security post yesterday morning, November 28th, that said that the plan is remigration now. And I did a deep dive into remigration. And I read Project 2025, so I know that the goal of the country for Project 2025 authors is an all-white country, a country that looks like me but doesn't look like my children. And I did a deep dive into remigration, its history and what it means. And I cannot overstate how important it is for us all to become educated on this. I'm doing a series on remigration, and I will put it together in a playlist. I'm going to post them all today because we need to know all of this. But I don't ask you guys often, once in a while, to share this. But please share this for our neighbors of color, for our friends and our family members of color, and for 3 of my children that if this policy goes through, could very well be stripped of their American citizenship. Share this, learn, and be on alert. And go love your neighbor.
Remigration now is code for ethnic cleansing and mass deportations, whether you're a citizen or not. It started meaning that certain demographics were returning home voluntarily, but it's been hijacked mostly by European neo-Nazi circles and alt-right circles here in the United States, the same ones that are actually running our government at the moment, to mean not returning home and not voluntarily, but more along the lines of let's get rid of anyone we don't want in this country that we want to be all white. Yes, this term has traveled from European fascist circles and movements into possibly and quite obviously, I would say, into the US government's language. And yeah, we should definitely be concerned. It's far-right extremist code for eliminate, extinguish, exterminate, and deport anyone that you don't feel belongs, whether they are citizens or not, whether they were born here or not, whether their family has been here longer than you or not. Which means any of us can get it. And yes, the same ideology behind the remigration theory or movement or solution is also the Great Replacement theory. It's behind the anti-immigration laws. It's behind the book bans, the voter purges, the anti-trans laws, the anti-black fear-mongering. And it's behind every attempt to shrink who counts as a real American and who doesn't. It's colonial logic. With language like this, the United States government is laying the groundwork so that they can decide who gets to stay, who gets to be erased, and who gets to be protected. Notice how when they talk about remigration, they're not talking about sending themselves anywhere else. No, they talk about Latinos, Muslims, Africans, Asian communities, Palestinians. Let's keep it real. Black Americans have seen this before. From slave patrols to sundown towns, the agenda has always been the same. Control the demographics, you control the power. So we're gonna call it what it is. It's ethno-nationalism. No matter how they try to dress it up as a cute little euphemism, we see what it is. Everyone should see what it is and what they're saying. They want a white America, a whites-only America. And they're not being quiet about it anymore.
Do you know why this tweet from Homeland Security is so dangerous, calling for remigration? As a former history teacher, let me explain to you why you need to understand the context and use of that term specifically and what it could mean for the United States. Also, we told you this would happen, but let's get to the history and how it's even being used today in Europe. Let's start by going back in time to Germany in the 1930s. I know, not the best place to time travel to, but you need to understand what the Madagascar Plan was. This was a plan set up by the Yahtzee government that intended to solve the Jewish question, historical educational purposes only. Their plan was to deport them to the island of Madagascar, just to get rid of them entirely, because again, it was all about ethnic cleansing. They wanted pure Germans, and that population, well, they weren't really German. In fact, they didn't even see them as human, so the best solution was to get rid of them. Now are you starting to see why it's so dangerous that Homeland Security is using that term remigration? And it's also picked up steam recently in Europe. Let's go to Italy, where Giorgia Meloni, the current prime minister, is advocating for these policies and even put them into place. And just to be clear, this is taking off throughout Europe, not just Italy. It has been propagated by far-right groups across the continent over the past several years. But Italy is where it's actually starting to take off, as it were, because they do not have birthright citizenship. Being born in Italy does not guarantee you the right to live there or become a citizen. Unlike the United States, where we have the 14th Amendment and the protection of birthright citizenship. And by the way, the current administration is challenging that. They want to strip people of their citizenship and get rid of birthright citizenship to make it like Italy. So even if you have legal status here, you're living in a country legally like Italy, and you have a child there, that child is not guaranteed citizenship or even legal status. And in Italy, people are concerned that their children, even though they are there completely legally, could be deported to a country that they have never seen or known. And that's what they want to try and do here in the United States, because again, you've probably heard of something else called the Great Replacement Theory, propagated by far-right podcasters, news figureheads. I use that term loosely. This has been going on for decades, and now it's in motion. It was written down in Project 2025. You didn't listen, and here we are today. And now the Department of Homeland Security is blatantly dog-whistling white supremacist groups, far-right groups, by using the term remigration, which is just a fancy way of saying YT supremacy and ethnic cleansing.
The Department of Homeland Security posted the words remigration now, and I had to look that up because I'm not some kind of far-right freak. Basically, it means removing millions of people from this country based on their identity, not the law, turning immigration policy into mass expulsion. So who exactly is the federal government talking about? Is it undocumented people? That's like 11 million. Is it people that overstay their visa? That's a couple more million. Is it permanent legal residents? That's like 13 million on top of that. Or are we talking about the full European version of remigration, which includes anyone's grandparents that came from the wrong place? Because if that's the model, suddenly we're talking like 100 million Americans. And who gets to decide who comes and goes? Is it the lady that killed her dog, Kristi Noem, the fascist from Malibu, Stephen Miller? Who in this administration gets to decide who stays and goes? And where do they send them? Because the last time a government started deciding who belonged and who didn't based on bloodlines and ancestry, we all know how that fucking ended. So the people in power are going to say this is about laws and security and borders, but remigration means mass removal of people. And the ones in charge know exactly what they're fucking saying.
So I just saw a post by a lady named Jessica, and I will post it, in regards to remigration. I guess the Department of Homeland Security made a post on Twitter, and I have it. I checked their website. I didn't really see anything, but they made a post saying that it's time for them to start the remigration. And Jessica went in depth about the remigration. Okay, guys? And it's basically saying that they want to lay out their plan of having a white-only country. That's the conclusion that Jessica has come to. So as being an indigenous person to here in this great land of North America, I was reading the comments because I was curious. And I even saw one of my friends who is a white lady but has mixed kids, which I don't know if they're mixed with what. They could be black. But Jessica says she had black kids. And to see, this is the time for us to stand up on the truth. Not just me and us people that match me with copper color. Not just us. It's time for white people to stand up and tell the truth too. This is the time. I see these ladies in the comments saying that they're afraid for their own children. Why? You own social media, and if you're not aware, we are indigenous. If they just do a little research, then they would be able to easily know the truth, and all their fear should totally go away. But see, this is another thing. Anybody that's disgusted by a plan of putting people out that's a citizen, especially us copper-colored people who are indigenous here to North America, or the Americas, however you want to say it, I would think that we should band together and get rid of all the policymakers who have decided some foolishness like this. Maybe that's what we need to do versus allowing them to have the power to put fear in you. Because I know who I am, and anybody that's white that has, or Mexican, whatever you are, if you're not copper colored and you have kids with someone copper color or black as they want to call it, it's time for you to do your research and understand that we are indigenous to the country and your children have nothing to worry about, and you need to stand on that and spread the truth. We were here. We always been here, and we ain't going nowhere.
Trump is talking about ending all migration from third world countries and denaturalizing any U.S. citizen that does not align with so-called American values.
Yeah, and we don't want people coming to America who don't want to be Americans and who most certainly do not respect American culture. This is a very easy concept. If you come from a shitty country, don't bring the shittiness from your country with you, because we don't want it here in America. You love your country so much and you love your government so much, go back. Why are you here to begin with?
I don't
don't understand why people are acting like immigration, deportation, revoking visas, revoking citizenship is a novel concept. This has been going on for decades, and also happens in other countries as well, not just the US. America and Americans want their America back.
If you're an immigrant or a green card holder, you might have heard the news that the Trump administration is revisiting your status if you're from a third world country. Now, admittedly, most people are probably just shocked and also dismayed and pretty much anxious all the way around, because now you don't know what's going on. I see a lot of patients of mine who working for tech companies who have been affected by the H-1B kind of uncertainty, and now we got green card holders and people in general. So what are you going to do? Number one, take a breath. This is an anxiety provoking and moment. It's something that's outside of your control because you have a lot riding on the situation. It's your job, it's your livelihood. It could be your partner, it could be your family, it could be your future plans. It could be all the things you might have just bought a house. Maybe you think about doing this and this and that. So it's important to keep that in mind. And just remember that these things can pass, and this situation will probably get resolved, will may get challenged, but at the end of the day, how it affects you day in, day out should not be such a negative turn of events, and you can exert control of the situation based off how you handle it day in, day out. Exercise, be with family, make sure you take care of yourself, and eventually talk to your friends, talk to your support systems. Things will work out, and if they don't, it's not the end of the world. Your physical livelihood is not, no one's going to kill you for it. I know I don't want to dismiss it, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to just put things in perspective, and eventually you'll be able to resolve it. You're a smart person. You've got good support systems around you. If you don't, maybe that's the thing we got to work on. And once we work on that, you're going to do great. Just take a breath, one day at a time. It will pass.
So immigrants are taking all our jobs, but they're also taking all of our tax money because they're not working. But they're also all criminals, but they're also all getting approved for 30-year mortgages and taking all the houses that are rightfully owed to Americans. No, I'm getting it.
These are my last days in America. As an American, I don't know when I can come back. Hopefully it'll still be safe to cross the border and come back and get the boxes that I'm leaving with friends here and there. My partner got a job that's going to sponsor them for a work visa, and so they can come back and get our belongings. But we can't take them with us to the border right now because we have to not move. We can't move there, so we have to show up with nothing more than 2 suitcases. So my belongings are going to be 2 suitcases at the border, and everything else has to either be rehomed to friends, donated, or thrown away. I have 3 boxes left that I am putting with different friends in the hopes of being able to come back and get them, including all of my books, all my books, and my art. And this process has just been one of tremendous loss. I am an artist, and I donated art supplies that I've been carrying around since I was a teenager. Just gone, and I am no longer somebody who does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I'm not going to be able to afford it once I leave, and I'm no longer a gun owner, which was an important way that I felt safe and empowered in this violent fucking country. And I'm losing all of the objects that
I just don't know what is wrong with this administration. Like, why is it that it is more like nothing good comes from these people? Like, we wake up every day with so many, I don't even know what to call this. Like, remigration is the in-depth meaning of this word and how it is going to affect a lot of people in America. They are talking about wiping off the entire minority, people of color, immigrants, whether your visas are valid, whether they're updated or not, they want you back because they feel like they bring in a lot of issues and problems. I deliberately shared the video, I can't remember her name, but where she was telling Americans that this is the best thing they need to do because they want to get America back. Have you guys forgotten who really made America who they are today? Have you guys forgotten the impact of Black Americans on America? How the ancestors fought with their blood and water to make America what they are today. The only thing that comes out from this Trump administration is they want immigrants out. They want the kind of hatred and obsession that they have for people is insane. America didn't just wake up in a day and become what they are. A lot of people put in their blood and sweat to make them who they are, which I'm giving up to Black Americans because they contributed immensely to making America who they are today. And these guys, what they basically do is that they just want people out. That was how Donald Trump came out to say that he's taken off the nurses should no longer be professional courses. And I know he targeted Black people because we know that most people migrate to US because they want to study nursing. And of course, it's a very lucrative job, and it's the money, the salaries and all that is quite much. A lot of Africans are in there because of nursing and the way they give admissions to people because they want to study nursing they want to like probably extend their nursing career or even like start practicing in America is alarming. And he feels like, what is he going to do to keep people back out of America? He decided to take off professionalism from nursing. Like the only thing he does is that he sleeps and wake up and he thinks of how to hurt immigrants in America. Now, there's shooting up and there, unalivening of people up and down, and you think it is the immigrant that is to be blamed. How many times have you guys caught immigrants in your country engaging in things that the people, all these spam color people engage in the country and they get away with it? I just don't know how to react listening to people, even some emotional videos of a lady sharing why she's leaving America. She doesn't know when to come back. And the worst of this whole thing with this remigration is that it's going to affect almost everybody. Everybody's going to be affected on the long run. It's not just for stipulated particular people. Like, I don't know the percentage of people that are going to run away from this, except if they don't want to do it the proper way. It is crazy, and I believe that people's reactions are valid. Some people have also seen sharing why they think this whole thing would not work. The dangers of this remigration, how it's going to affect America drastically. They don't care. For the fact that whatever thing they want to do is going to hurt Black race, affect immigrants, affect the minorities. They will do everything in their power to get us hurt all the time. I don't know how to react, guys, but I believe that I was able to put together a lot of videos, people's reactions, stitches here and there, and people feeling like, when will this whole thing be over? Why are they always targeting people that look like me? It does not even make sense. Please let me know what you think about this statement made by the Department of Homeland Security on remigration now. They said it now, like they want it to start happening immediately. And I also saw videos where they said that Donald Trump is already revisiting the resident permits, the green cards and all that, because of course he has new policies against those cards. If this is your first time here, my name is Julie. You are welcome to Julie Harrison React. Don't make it your last by subscribing, and please let me know what you think about this whole thing shared here in the comment section. I'll be reading. Bye guys.